Oh, no need to introduce yourself. I know who you are. Well-trained and disciplined, you are constantly scanning and analyzing your surroundings. Even though you're already a part of Domain 9, your unique temperament still stands out. And this must be your inseparable companion, Miss Shirley. Pleased to finally meet you in person, Executor. I'm Yanuo.
Very rare for Yanunu to make such a serious comment. Executor and Shirley, does this ring a bell? The new encounter I've previously introduced is finally here!
It's Miss Yanuo, who taught you how to survive in the wilderness unprepared.
That's right. But the scenario of being in the middle of nowhere is only an example. How to respond to a fleet of an unknown civilization is also worthy of in-depth discussion.
How to communicate and live harmoniously with many elves on their land is also a topic.
First, determine whether the civilization is present. Then, evaluate the level of danger in each specific situation. Excuse me. I digress. Glad to meet you, and thank you for looking after Breely. I look forward to working with you both. While you were on the mission in the Forbidden Hendeka County, I got myself acquainted with the basics of Domain 9. Give me a shout if you need a hand in the future.
Good to have you here, Miss Yanuo.
I'm feeling even more at ease now that Yanunu is here. This team can easily tackle most problems with no need for a miracle. This is not all. Another friend has been waiting for us at the Ignisville Celestial Gate. Let's rendezvous there.
Another friend?
We had some trouble activating the Omnium reactor earlier. Teacher told me the headquarters would send someone to assist us. If we can all work together to locate the problem, we might find a solution.
We're having trouble again? The upgrade of the Infinite Sundial is not a smooth sail after all.
Well, we've had quite a few theoretically impossible situations.
And challenging situations like this require us to unite as one.
Well said. So, our next mission is to welcome our new friend from the High Cross headquarters. Let's roll!
This must be
23 minutes and 47 seconds.
Bleep!
I have waited for 23 minutes and 47 seconds, literally. I suppose I'll explain it. The sooner you get used to my work style, the more efficient our cooperation will be. Well, I've done some homework about my coworkers in Domain 9. Brevi, Yanuo, Shirley, and the Executor. Based on the evaluation of your previous missions, I estimated the time it would take for you to arrive once you received the news that I'd be here.
Huh? So the headquarters also has access to my transcript? I sure hope it's good enough to get me some additional funding.
Taking into consideration what is needed to travel to Domain 9, it's easy to figure out the right time for departure. That is, without wasting a second, the best time to achieve the greatest efficiency. Unfortunately, however, you came late. These 20-some minutes could have been spent on something way more important. So do not let my precious time be wasted ever again. Understood? Well, I should have expected this, considering you are from District 9. After all, there is no place for people with no sense of time in the algorithm arc at the headquarters.
Sorry about the wait, Your Highness from the headquarters. Our apologies. We are truly sorry.
Call me Plotty. Cut all the useless formalities.
Lolo is very approachable. We like that.
Looking forward to working with you.
Then, without further ado, let's get going. Your Highness, after you.
Hi, welcome back. A comprehensive inspection of the infinite sundial has just been completed, but we are unable to identify any problem.
No result from the auto-diagnosis. That's kinda troublesome. What exactly is hindering the steady supply of field energy in large amounts?
The steady supply of field energy in large amounts.
Previously, the infinite sundial was operating in a low-energy supply mode due to insufficient field energy. Although it managed to provide enough energy for timestamps across the domain, it was insufficient to support the research and development of Niner's heavy machinery. With the upgrade complete and the energy crisis resolved, the infinite sundial should now be able to sustain a steady supply of field energy in large amounts across Domain 9.
However, we experience significant fluctuations in the field energy supply whenever we attempt to operate the system at full capacity. In other words, the infinite sundial would automatically shut itself down once the amount of field energy we attempt to supply exceeds a certain limit.
It sounds like an automatic safety measure, but it's not.
I suspect some part of the infinite sundial is malfunctioning, so I asked Yun to run the automatic diagnostic program to see.
Unfortunately, we were unable to locate the problem. If we can't figure this out soon, the development of the third-generation timestamp system will be further delayed.
Since the automatic diagnostics returned with no results, we'll have to resort to manual debugging, trying each component one by one to pinpoint the issue.
How exactly are we doing that? Let us help.
Thank you, but I only have some rough ideas on what to do next. We'll need permission from Master Yu to access tempos to perform manual troubleshooting. Then it all depends on what we find. Things rarely turned out as planned anyway. I have learned this slowly over my time in Domain 9.
So you need permission to access tempos? Understood. This way, Master Yu has anticipated such a request. You may visit Zhengong at any time.
What we know for sure now is that Madame Ling Han and Dr. Rubilia's hypothesis is largely consistent with the information recorded in the Dark Forms. It's beyond doubt that the forbidden Hendeka County was once a testing ground of the Blackstone civilization. All facilities there were set up to support one project, the incubation capsule that Nan Yin once touched. The dark form inside the incubation capsule keeps the data of the two most recent experiments, conducted respectively on Nan Yin and the Executor, but all records before that are severely damaged beyond restoration. These experiments were designed to transform living beings into dark wretches, or something similar. However, what exactly they were trying to achieve through this is not yet clear. Another thing we are certain about is that Nan Yin left the incubation capsule as a partially developed hatchling.
Is that so?
And it requires massive energy for a hatchling to mature into an adult. This is probably why Nan Yin has to take the Darkness Crystamax from the ruins.
The incubation capsule can produce a steady stream of hatchlings, but the energy needed to fully mature is limited. Survival of the fittest is the law of nature. Only the strongest are here to stay. Is this how the strongest adult is selected? Our best guesses, based on what we currently know, are still far from good.
We desperately need more information.
Other content is still being processed. Due to the huge amount of calculation involved, I'm unable to give you an estimated time for a comprehensive conclusion.
Got it.
Then, I shall not disturb the visits of our distinguished guests.
Welcome, Miss Plotty from Hycros. I have been informed the reason of your visit. This is our first attempt to upgrade the infinite sundial in all these years. The unexpected situations you have encountered are all within reason. Jun Gong will spare no effort to assist you. Please feel free to name your needs.
My guess is... perhaps the Omnium reactor is not perfectly compatible, or there might be issues with the infrastructure during the Omnium transmission. We need access to tempos to examine every part of the infinite sundial. If we can locate the problem, we can focus our efforts on solving it. How's Polo doing?
We need the key to access Tempo's internal system.
That's not a problem. Yun will walk you to the Tempo's control room.
Understood.
Bleep bleep! I'm ready to give a report on the current investigation progress. According to Tempos' automatic diagnostic results, there's no problems with the Infinite Sundial's hardware. Although we will need more time to perform a manual inspection, it's essentially just to confirm an answer that's already quite clear. I personally would focus our attention on the Omnium reactor. The abnormal situation we are experiencing now may be a result of an authorization issue from Gestos' end.
After extensive inspections, I, the authorizer on duty, can assure you that there was no error to speak of during Gestos' authorization process. Acknowledging and correcting mistakes early and redirecting your efforts is a good way to improve work efficiency. More or less.
If I may ask, what's the authorizer on duty?
With clearance level 5, the administrator of Gestos' network system, responsible for monitoring all Omnium reactors, serves as the rotating authorizer in the algorithm arc at Hycros headquarters. When you attempted to activate this Omnium reactor, I was the one in the algorithm arc who synchronized Gestos' network with the Infinite Sundial and approved the authorization request. Therefore, I deserve to be respected as much as Archon Elric. From now on, I'll be in charge of this operation. All objections are overruled. And my order is to keep your attention on factors within Domain 9.
But our work so far has eliminated all possible causes in Domain 9. Are you suggesting an extremely unlikely miracle has happened? A miracle with a negative connotation in the science field? What a bummer.
Am I seriously hearing this nonsense from a scientific researcher? Do you have any sense of shame? If you insist on sticking to your ways, I shall make an exception and let you sink deeper and deeper down this hole. As far as I know, people from District 9 never learn from their mistakes. Let alone a half-baked underachiever like you, who has absolutely nothing to show other than several papers. Haven't your colleagues ever questioned your professional competence?
Ahem. Dear Madame Plotty, I'm afraid you don't know Breely that well. It's a bit harsh to jump to such a conclusion based solely on some biased background information in a brief chat.
Let me make it clear. This is what I think about all of you from District 9. A nondescript bunch. Don't like it? Then prove to me you are worthy. But whatever you do, nothing can erase the shameful history of District 9 being captured by the heirs of Ida and losing a vast amount of confidential information. That included some of my hard work. Want to hear how your esteemed Archon Elric pleaded with me to redevelop the program for you back then?
Huh? I think...
Archon Elric is actually your equal in rank. In fact...
The heirs of Ida managed to invade because incompetent executors like you completely failed in their duties. So dutifully fulfill your obligations, Brevi's bodyguard, henchwoman, or whatever you are, young lady. Just do your job and keep the bark down.
Better watch out, Your Highness. I bite like a rabid raccoon.
Nunu and Plolo are having a nice conversation. Glad to see their friendship blossom.
Excuse me. Master Yu is waiting for us.
Right. We shall leave you to it.
All right. Since Plolo has given her word, let's try to advance the investigation from different directions. I may need your help, Yanunu. Thank you in advance.
All the abyss currents across the domain have been closed before serious damage can be caused by the darkness. The alert level in the Aquaville ruin is at its highest. No trace of Nanyin so far. The development of the third-generation timestamp system is unable to progress due to the issue with the infinite sundial's energy supply.
I understand. Executor and Miss Shirley, good to see you. I want to learn more about Nanyin's seizure of the Crystamax of Ignisville.
Sure. At that time, Nanyin seemed to be protected by a special group of darkness when drawing energy from the Crystamax. Shrouded in a strange aura, they were much harder to deal with than the average darkness. We'd never seen anything like that before, but we needed to eliminate them before we could approach Nanyin.
Exactly. This bunch was completely different from all the darkness before. They were not like the dark wretches Nanyin once manipulated either.
This is likely a new power Nanyin has acquired after seizing the Crystamax. Some Ignisville domain guards recently reported a similar sighting of the darkness with unprecedented power near the Nestledale camp. This could mean that Nanyin may still be in Ignisville. We must prepare ourselves in response to the recent encounters with the abnormal darkness entities. I hope you can travel to Ignisville with Ming Jing to address this matter.
I understand. Executor and Miss Shirley, we are counting on you.
Rocket?
Liu Hua is also there. Let's help them.
Ouch! It's a huge embarrassment in front of Lord Mingjing.
Move your hand. Let me see your wound.
No big deal. I just got nicked by the darkness and my sis went all out, smashing them left and right. Besides, Lord Mingjing and the Executor came to our aid just in time. I'm fine, seriously.
Don't be childish. Show me you're not. Your wound is not going away. Move your hand.
Just a small cut. Don't make a scene.
Your wounds!
You're lucky I had some first aid training.
Thank you, Miss Shirley. All good now. I'm ready for another battle with the darkness.
You can play tough all you want.
I'm totally fine, I promise. My invincible sister came from heaven to my rescue.
Stop the nonsense. Did the darkness hit you in the head?
Ouch! It hurts!
You asked for it.
You guys are so close.
Lord Mingjing, you must be here for the abnormal darkness.
The Miss Nanyan cost. This type of darkness was pretty hard to deal with.
I know. We've never encountered anything like this before. Engaging them in a fight is the only way to gather accurate information on this new variant of the darkness. The domain guards in Aquaville need to ready themselves. We've learned a lot from this trip. Thank you.
We should be the ones thanking you. You've been a great help, really. We need to report this to Lady Juchui. Please excuse us.
How's Miss Lan doing? Her injury was pretty serious.
The doctors advised her to rest more, but I bet she's been out and about. I'll make sure to pass on your greetings after reporting this darkness encounter.
All right, we won't delay you further.
Same old. Race to Ignisville Mansion?
Race? What about your injury?
Oh, come on, sis. Are you actually worried about being outrun by someone who's injured?
Wrong, Jin? Don't let me catch you!
They seem to have a bit of a banter together all the time. Strong family ties. Rongjin is definitely the more mature one between the two, but he acts like a little boy in front of his sister.
Or maybe it's precisely in front of his sister that he can be a bit more playful.
Uh-huh?
I get him, somehow. The only difference is, I actually love to mess with my brother. For instance, I used to pour lots of lemon juice into the orange soda before offering it to him as a reward for his hard work.
Yikes. Just thinking about it makes my teeth tingle.
Well, he was very strict with me, and I needed revenge somehow. Looking back, however, my brother took really good care of me, and I was always the insensible one.
But you are all grown up now, Shirley. You're now a capable young lady who can hold the ground on her own.
But...
I'm sure he's very proud of you.
Bleep bleep. You two have a moment?
We were just finishing up. What's the matter?
Plolo and I have made some progress on the investigation. Please meet us at the Infinite Sundial.
Sure. We'll be there.
All right. We shall part ways here. I also have things to attend to back in Aquaville. I'll see you around.
The preliminary screening has been completed, and the result is just as expected. An unknown source of interference in Domain 9 is the cause of all this trouble. It previously interrupted the communication between Gestos and the reactor, and arbitrarily took over the authorization process for the Omnium reactor, which has resulted in the current abnormal situation we are facing at the Infinite Sundial. Could it be Tempos, or the timestamp system of Domain 9?
Miss Plotty.
Just kidding. Now, let's proceed with our plan.
Tempos is at your service. Just a moment.
Now it's my turn to report my findings. I have re-examined the upgraded Infinite Sundial's preset system. The design is the same as all the functioning towers of Fantasy. However, during construction, the system was modified to better fit the actual conditions. Union is sorting out information regarding this. Another possibility here is that the upgraded Infinite Sundial is poorly compatible with the astral monuments and timestamps, causing interference to the infrastructures. Yanunu has left for Tianzhong Pavilion to consult Miss Mimi about this.
Is there anything we can help with?
Our third hypothesis is that there is some limiting factor within the sundial. So, do you mind collecting the operating data of the sundial square for us? The data from one sundial square would suffice. No point in getting into details at this early stage.
Any sundial square will do?
Yes. Please use this device to record data. And, what was I saying? That's all for now.
The Ignisville Sundial Square is not far from here. Let's pay Miss Yulan a visit.
Okay, let's go.
Huh?
been a while. How's everything?
Everything is fine, but we need to borrow Miss Yulan for a minute.
Miss Brevi is trying to find out the cause of the infinite sundial's energy supply failure. There might be some inherent limiting factors, so she sent us to collect operating data of the sundial square.
I see. Please follow me. I believe Miss Brevi is hoping to analyze and compare the difference in Sundial Square's operation before and after the upgrade of the Infinite Sundial. So, I've retrieved various data on the Ignisville Sundial Square at different times. As the field energy reserve continued to decline, the operation mode of the Sundial Square changed accordingly over time. I've included some additional data from each period. Hopefully it helps.
That's very thoughtful of you, Miss Yulan.
Don't mention it. It's my duty as a sundial guard. The volume of data is greater than I expected. I'm sorry, but you'll have to wait a bit longer.
Don't worry about it. We're in no rush. I hope.
I heard you've found the cause of Nanyin's transformation in Hendaka County? As the former Lady Baihu, she rendered meritorious service for Domain 9. But now she's become the culprit for all this trouble we're facing. She might have her own reasons, but nothing can justify her conduct. I just don't know what to think of her. I spoke to Master Yu about this.
What did Master Yu say?
Nothing. I guess she wants me to have my own opinion, and not be swayed by anyone else, including herself. I still can't see through this. The more leads we get about Nanyin, the more complicated the situation becomes.
Don't lose heart. We don't live in a world where everything is either black or white.
I think it's only a matter of time before you find the answer, Miss Yulan.
We're very close to the day when the truth will finally come out.
Well, thank you. Like my training, everything will work out. Just like the clouds always melt and the mists disperse. My practice was held back by a bottleneck for a really long time. But once I broke through it, all the confusion and loss I once felt was no longer there. Huh? Does that mean everything has something in common with practicing martial arts?
Miss Yulan, you really are obsessed with martial arts.
Master Yu once called it a strong point of mine. I shall keep it up. Ah, the data transmission is complete. Here you go.
Thank you. We won't waste more of your precious time. We'll head back to the Infinite Sundial.
You are very welcome.
What do I do? What do I do? Who would have thought the issue really wasn't in Domain 9? What do I do now? I was so certain. Hollow, answer me. Did I make a huge fool of myself? This is so embarrassing.
Actually, I also wondered if it could be Tempos. But the communication structure of Tempos is different from that of Gestos. There shouldn't be any conflict between them. In fact, nothing in Domain 9 has what it takes to interfere with Gestos.
When did you guys get here?
Who were you talking to earlier? Was it Paulo?
What Paulo? I don't know any Paulo. You must be mistaken. I've already come to a rough conclusion. I'll go and confirm with Master Yu right away.
Was that? I don't remember anything.
Paulo is going to share her conclusion with Master Yu. Don't you want to hear?
Oh, then we better hurry.
Sorry, Master Yu. The current situation at the Infinite Sundial is slightly beyond my expectations. In order to lift the current field energy supply limit, I've made some adjustments to Tempos' system. Hopefully it'll be enough to meet Domain 9's power demand for now. However, this is only a temporary measure, not enough to support the development of the third-generation timestamp tech. I need to look into something back at the headquarters. The real cause of the problem might lie there. I promise you, I'll bring a real solution when I return to Domain 9, and it won't be long.
The inspection of the Infinite Sundial's infrastructure has led to a similar conclusion. We have examined it thoroughly again and again, but no adjustment is needed. This is a great result, I suppose. Now I'm proud to announce, the upgrade of the Infinite Sundial is a success! It's time to go back to District 9 and report everything to Teacher. Or should I use the term debrief?
Thank you, Master Yu, for looking after Briley and me all this time.
No problem. Thank you for your hard work. We are forever grateful for Hykros' help in solving our energy crisis. I look forward to more cooperation in the future. For example, the timestamp tech. Archon Larson of Hykros once expressed his interest in employing timestamps in Vera to help resist the darkness invasion. Mimi from Tianzhong Pavilion is already following up on this. We stand together through thick and thin. The information we have deciphered from the dark forms should be useful for Vera in combating the darkness.
The dark forms we brought back?
That's right. We can now confirm that it's a similar technology to Domain 9's timestamp, created and left by the alien civilization that we all know too well. The dark forms contain key information about the darkness. It's not an exaggeration to say that they determine the future of Domain 9. Due to limited computing power, it will take Tempos quite some time to decipher the information alone. Sadly, we simply don't have the time to wait.
Master Yu, are you hoping to have Hykros' Gestos work together with Tempos?
Exactly.
Gestos can communicate across time and space, so technically coordinating a joint deciphering project shouldn't be difficult. I will report this to the headquarters. I believe we will soon have a response for you.
Thank you, everyone. While Tempos continues to decipher, we will be here waiting for your good news.
stars rise and fall, bringing us together again. Executor, how have you been? Your hard work, dedication, and all those moments of glory and triumph, we've captured them all. Dear Executor, please continue to write new chapters of adventure in the days to come.
Icarus?
Executor, Miss Shirley, it's good to see you're both doing well. The second group of reinforcement teams from Hycros has arrived in Domain 9 to assist you. We're ready to provide full support for your upcoming operations.
You've really been a great help. Thank you.
It seems you're already acquainted and there's no need for my introduction. That's good. Saves time. I'll briefly explain my investigation and the decision from headquarters. The cause of the abnormal authorization has been identified, and I'll provide a detailed report on the specifics later. Gesthos and Tempos are working together to decipher the dark forms. Master Yu's invitation likely indicates an advancement in our understanding of the alien civilization. As for what the deciphered information means, I believe you all have your own answers.
Nanyin, Domain 9, and our fate.
That's right. Let's go. Master Yu. After re-examining the authorization process Gesthos conducted on the Omnium reactor, we've discovered the root cause of why the infinite sundial couldn't operate at its regular power level. Essentially, the reactor wasn't activated properly, and Gesthos failed to grant it the necessary operational permissions. So, it appears that we have completed the authorization process, which should have enabled the infinite sundial to channel Omnium energy. But in reality, Gesthos couldn't alter the operating power level. Therefore, after reaching an agreement with Tempos, we re-executed Gesthos' authorization protocol. The results met our expectations, and the infinite sundial is now operating at full capacity, supporting the development of the third-generation timestamp system. It was a deceptive illusion. At the moment Gesthos attempted to authorize the reactor, it received two similar yet distinct sets of instructions. One was Gesthos' authorization command, while the other was from the disruptive factor I had previously speculated about. The reactor executed the latter command, which means Gesthos wasn't the actual authorizer. Hykros didn't have the authority over the Omnium reactor, making all subsequent commands ineffective.
Then, how did the Infinite Sundial manage to start up and successfully receive the Omnium energy from Mara?
That brings us to the question, what exactly is this disruptive factor? I had considered it during my investigation in Domain 9, but it was such a bold assumption, and I needed more evidence to substantiate its viability. After reviewing the headquarters documents and the archives in Aquaville, the answer seemed obvious. Tempos also possesses an authorization ability similar to Gesthos. When the Infinite Sundial requested authorization for the Omnium reactor, it was Tempos that issued the command in response.
But why would Tempos have similar capabilities to Gesthos when Domain 9 has always been isolated from the outside world?
This has to do with a piece of distant history. Long story short. Whether it's Domain 9, Esperia, Vera, or other regions, none of us are the original inhabitants of Ida. We migrated here many years ago aboard the spaceship Distant Beacon. It may sound romantic, but history is not a work of art, and grand space operas only exist in our imaginations. The reality is often full of hardship and sorrow, and we usually define the mistakes as lessons learned. Of course, there's nothing wrong with believing in beautiful fantasies. They give us courage to face adversity. Excuse me, I digress. For some reason, Distant Beacon did not land successfully, but self-destructed above Ida's orbit. Before executing the self-destruct command, it released 5 frontier pods. Only 2 of the 5 pods managed to land successfully on the surface, and those frontiers were our ancestors. Another 2 crashed, and 1 lost contact with the rest. Combining information from both sources, we now have sufficient evidence to prove that Domain 9 was settled by frontiers from the then-missing Frontier Pod number 8.
Domain 9 shares the same origin as Ida, which is the conjecture we have always hoped to confirm. Due to the current circumstances, Domain 9 is unable to engage in more in-depth communication with Hykros, so we're putting this topic on hold for the time being. However, in our joint investigation of the factors influencing the Infinite Sundial, we stumbled upon decisive evidence that supports this theory. Tempos has the authorization ability, just like Gesthos.
Maybe well...
You mentioned Distant Beacon. It seems that both Tempos and Gesthos' authorization abilities are connected to it. Since they all originated from the same spaceship, it makes sense that they would share similar functionalities, right? Could Tempos be the supercomputer from the missing Frontier Pod number 8, or something like that?
Great guess, Miss Shirley. I'm just getting to that part. The precursor to Hykros' Gesthos was the central supercomputer SAM from Distant Beacon. Although Tempos was exclusive to Pod number 8, it shared some of SAM's technology. It's not surprising that it inherited the authorization capability with the similarities in their computational structures. The issue we've encountered confirmed it.
So, that's how it is.
When Pod 8 made an emergency landing on the surface of Domain 9, the compartments were severely damaged, and most of the facilities became inoperable. Apart from Tempos, all the other crucial instruments and data were ultimately lost, despite attempts to salvage them. After completing a basic survey of Domain 9, we discovered the mysterious Black Jade artifacts left by an alien civilization. Naturally, our focus gradually shifted from Omnium to the unique resources found within Domain 9. Using the Black Jade artifacts as a foundation, Pod number 8 pioneered a technological direction unique to Domain 9. Over generations, this technology has developed significantly and has become vastly different from the era of Distant Beacon.
Who would have thought that the long-lost friends would eventually be able to reunite? Our fates, it seems, are always closely intertwined. Sorry, back to the topic.
Unfortunately, now isn't the time to celebrate the reunion. We've deciphered more about the darkness in Nanyin, and we don't have much time left. As we had speculated, after Nanyin activated the incubation capsule in Hendeka County, she transformed into a dark wretch due to the darkness energy conversion. Not just any dark wretch. Dr. Rubilia thinks that she has become the hive mother of a new order of darkness, entirely under the alien civilization's control. This alien civilization coveted the adaptability and destructive power of the darkness. They wanted to harness this power for themselves, but were hindered by the darkness's unparalleled evolutionary capabilities. Subjugating the darkness and making the whole species submit to them was the only way. As you've seen, they focused on cultivating an outstanding individual to defeat the Hive Mother. And by dominating this new Hive Mother, they intended to seize control of the entire species of darkness. But they failed and suffered severe backlash. After hastily sealing the Hive Mother using Black Jade technology, they abandoned this land. This might also be why Domain 9 has been isolated from the outside world. Perhaps as a way to hide from the Hive Mother's revenge? We still have much to uncover on this aspect.
Arrogance truly is a common trait among all living beings, without exception.
But this method is not unfeasible. The current Nanyin is an extension of their will. She's seizing the Christomaxes and turning people into dark wretches, all for one reason: to expand the power of this new order of darkness, preparing for the moment to contest the Hive Mother.
The soldiers that were turned into dark wretches by Nanyin, have they become part of the new order of darkness under her control? Are they all pawns in Nanyin's fight against the Hive Mother?
I'm afraid so. This is a civil war within the darkness, and we are but minor variables that can be exploited in Nanyin's eyes. So even if we haven't made contact with the outside world or broken through the Black Jade ruins, Nanyin would still have seized the Christomaxes in them. The fate of Domain 9 was sealed when she completed the experiment. But humanity will not yield to so-called fate, despite our inherent weakness. Just like our ancestors, who were once trapped in this forgotten land, and transformed it into the Domain 9 we see today. Our next step is to get ahead of Nanyin, secure the Christomax from the Aquaville ruin, and stop her from continuing the fusion. Executor, Miss Shirley, and Mr. Icarus, I hope you can continue to support this operation.
It's my honor.
The four heads have gathered at the Aquaville ruin. Ban Wei-jun will guide you there. I'm counting on you.
We will do our best.
According to our calculations, the energy interference barrier can now fully cover Aquaville Mansion, and the test results are as expected. Unfortunately, we are unable to extend the barrier to cover the entire Aquaville region.
Until the infinite sundial is repaired, the energy transfer is limited. I understand that the barrier we have now is the result of all-out efforts from the Niners' heavy machinery. Thank you for your dedication. We'll stick to the original plan, secure the Christomax, store it in the container, and quickly move it to Aquaville Mansion. Executor, Miss Shirley, you're here. This is Miss Ban Wei-jin, the director of Niners' Heavy Machinery R&D Department.
I've heard so much about you both. It's an honor to meet you.
The pleasure is ours.
Were you just discussing the operation plans for the Aquaville ruin?
This mission is critical. We're in the middle of verifying the specifics of the barrier that blocks the Crystamax energy. We must seize the Crystamax before Nanyan becomes aware and secure it safely within Aquaville Mansion. The energy barrier there can block and neutralize the powerful energy radiated by the Crystamax. This way, Nanyan won't be able to detect its location, buying us time to set up the third-generation timestamp system. Once the timestamp system is updated, that'll be our signal to launch a counterattack against Nanyan and the darkness.
But the energy barrier only covers the Aquaville Mansion area. That means along the route from the ruin to Aquaville Mansion, we can only rely on a temporary container to block the energy emitted by the Crystamax. We must ensure that nothing goes wrong with this vulnerability. Any slight mistake could undo all our efforts. It's a pity our resources are limited. Otherwise, extending the coverage to the Aquaville ruin would be the safest. Anyway, I'm counting on you.
We'll do everything we can to ensure the safety of the Crystamax. Please, rest assured.
Where could Nanyin be now? Why hasn't she attacked us?
We haven't had any recent sightings of her. We can only estimate her possible whereabouts from the activities of the special group of darkness she controls. With the power she possesses now, she could easily wipe us out. In fact, I'm pretty sure that was her plan back at the Ignisville ruin. She may see us as nothing more than gnats, but even the smallest insects have repeatedly disrupted her plans. That's probably why she attacked you last time. Darkness energy isn't easy to control. Overdoing it can backfire. Your escape from the ruin last time wasn't just luck.
But she won't make the same mistake again.
We don't have much time left. Miss Ban Wei Jean, please lead the way.
Of course. Please follow me.
We've cleared the darkness in the surrounding areas. This should cut off Nanyin's ability to tap into their consciousness network and gather information here. Additionally, I've asked Master Yu to power the temporary interference barrier we've set up here with the infinite sundial, in hopes of minimizing the risks.
Lord Mingjing has been quite thorough. I don't think we're missing anything. This is Mr. Icarus from Hycros, here to assist with the operation.
I look forward to working with you all. When this is over, I will share my experience with the team. It should really help with their guard duties.
Thank you for all your assistance. Now that we're ready, let's get moving.
Containment complete. How is everyone? No injuries, I hope?
A tough nut to crack, but luckily, everyone is fine.
About Nanyin. Master Yu needs to know what happened here. Let's go back to Ignisville Mansion to talk things over.
Leave the Christomax escort to us. Let's part ways here.
Lord Mingjing, the Aquaville ruin is under attack by the darkness. Please be careful.
Understood. We'll stick to the plan to fend off the darkness and buy some time.
It seems Nanyan has caught on to our intentions. We need to secure the Christomax quickly.
Let me lend a hand to the soldiers guarding the ruin. If Nanyin tries to attack there, I can help hold her off for a while.
Icarus, I'll leave it to you. Stay safe.
Don't worry, we'll catch up soon.
We can't waste precious time. Let's pick up the pace.
We've arrived! Finally! Now we can take a moment to relax those tense nerves.
That was a close call. But thankfully, we made it.
It's hard to imagine what might have happened if Nanyan was aware of our actions.
Aquaville Mansion can block the energy radiated by the Christomax. But by process of elimination, she would eventually track us down here, wouldn't she? If her goal was the darkness energy within the Christomax, wouldn't destroying it and dispersing the energy prevent her from getting what she wants?
In fact, we did consider a similar strategy before. I had previously asked Dr. Clive from Vera to shatter a synthetic Christomax and measure the intensity of the contained energy. Although it was just a synthetic Christomax, and its purity couldn't compare to a real abyssint Christomax, the destructive power was still alarming. The disaster and contamination caused by breaking a Christomax are more than we could handle.
I see.
Once the third-generation timestamp system is operational, perhaps we will have a breakthrough in our research and restart the experiments with a fresh perspective and approach. This could also help mitigate the ecological contamination caused by the darkness. We have a long, long way to go in the future.
But our immediate concern is to address the threat posed by the Hive Mother and Nanyin. So, the current main focus of the third-generation timestamp system development is still on eliminating the darkness.
In this regard, Niner's heavy machinery has some updates. Please head to the R&D department later to check on their progress.
My pleasure.
Right. Let's secure the Christomax first.
even though the Christamax is in place, we can't afford to be complacent.
The domain guards have cleared the darkness near the ruin, and considering the special trait of the darkness species, it's very likely that Nanyin is aware that the Christamax has been taken. Miss Bond, please take them to the R&D department to modify the timestamp system. I need to inspect the defenses around Aquaville Mansion, and won't be able to join you. Please, excuse me.
Please follow me, this way. This is the observation tower, Niner's Heavy Machinery's R&D department. With the decryption of the dark form, we now have a better understanding of Black Jade technology. We've discovered more functions of Black Jade, and we're harnessing its power to suppress the darkness and integrating it into the timestamp. This ability, when paired with the abundant field energy, enables the timestamps to greatly amplify damage against the darkness. It assists the domain guards in combat, making their attacks much more effective. Just explaining it might not be very clear. Please place your timestamp on the control panel, and it will be upgraded soon.
Executor, how are things on your end?
Just finished upgrading my timestamp. And you? Did something happen?
Yes. A large number of abnormal darkness just completing your Aquaville Mansion. They're trying to destroy the energy interference barrier. Lord Mingjing's coordinates.
That is... the Hive Mother.
Did Nan Yin just find the Hive Mother's location?
Yes. The moment the rift opened, I sensed the Hive Mother's strong will. She's struggling, trying to break through. Nan Yin must have entered the chamber imprisoning the Hive Mother. We have underestimated her power.
She's opened the Hive Mother's chamber and spawned abyss currents across Aquaville, summoning the darkness.
And it's not just Aquaville. Abyss currents are all over Domain 9 now. I've just received word that Ignisville has been hit the hardest.
Miss Lan and the others must be fighting right now.
Let's clear the darkness in Aquaville, and then go help them. I wonder how Lan and the others are holding up. I should hurry over and help.
We couldn't stop Nan Yin from taking the Crystamax.
Even though she took the Crystamax, it doesn't mean our efforts were in vain. Everyone, you've worked hard.
She has entered the Hive Mother's chamber. The clash between them is causing a massive overflow of darkness energy. This is going to be a complete disaster.
It is a risk worth taking if we want a better tomorrow for Domain 9.
I just received a message from Zheng Gong. Master Yu wants to see us. There must be a new breakthrough in decrypting the dark form. Hopefully, we'll find a way out of this situation.
No time to waste. Let's head back to Shandgong.
Then, let's clear out the darkness here first.
Please let me continue to help in Ignisville. As a newcomer, I appreciate any advice or tips from the domain guards.
Let's move out!
See you all later.
The situation is dire, and we're running out of time. By analyzing the darkness energy emanating from the rift over Aquaville, we have confirmed that the Hive Mother is located beyond the rift. This aligns with Dr. Rubilia's postulation.
The moment the rift opened, the will of the Hive Mother echoed in my head clearer than ever before. The Hive Mother is on the verge of breaking free. This message has overcome the barriers of all space and time to reach each of its progeny. This is likely why Nan Yin was so desperate to obtain the Crystamax. The Hive Mother will soon break free. She must seize the last opportunity while it remains bound by the Black Jade Ruin.
According to the decrypted information from the Dark Form, the test subject will initiate an assault on the Hive Mother after its complete evolution to take over the control of the Hive Mother lineage. No matter which side wins, it will be a calamity that threatens the survival of Domain 9 and the entire humanity. Domain 9 is on the brink, but despite our limited power, we will not resign ourselves to this fate. We must intervene in this conflict and find an opportunity to turn the tide. This may be our last chance. The third-generation timestamp system is fully operational. I trust you've all gotten the hang of using its power now.
Yes, with its help, we've greatly improved our efficiency in dealing with the darkness.
The third-generation timestamp system does more than that. Its ability to stabilize space-time has also been significantly enhanced. After completing decrypting the dark form, we've gained a deeper understanding of the Black Jade technology. We've managed to replicate the methods of the alien civilization used to control the darkness, by manipulating the Black Jade ruin to reinforce the containment of the Hive Mother. This means that in our battles against the Hive Mother and Nanyin, we can use the timestamps to intervene and harness the powers of the Black Jade ruin.
Ideally, we would seal both Nanyin and the Hive Mother together, much like what the alien civilization did. Anyway, we'll need to make our moves based on the specific circumstances inside the Black Jade ruin. It's unfortunate that the entrance to the Black Jade ruin opened by Nanyin closed so quickly. We'll have to find another way in.
Dr. Rubilia, are you able to open the entrance?
I'll do my best, but I can't guarantee anything if it's just me.
Maybe I can help. At that moment, I sensed it too. The special coordinates that appeared in the chaotic space-time. Is it possible to pinpoint the location of the Hive Mother and reopen the Black Jade ruin using Omnium energy?
Could we destabilize that section of space-time with Omnium energy to bring it into our observable range? If we channel Omnium energy to one spot and direct a concentrated energy burst at the target, we could, in theory, meet our objective.
It seems that when it comes to the application of Omnium energy, Domain 9 and Hykros have quite a bit in common. We have tried to use Omnium energy to target weaknesses in the dimensional barrier, hoping to shatter the long-standing constraints of space-time. The Celestial Cannon was one of the attempts designed by our technicians who built the Celestial Gate. However, we had to put it on hold due to insufficient field energy. If Miss Shirley can provide the precise coordinates, this method is worth trying. Miss Plotty, what do you think?
I'm concerned that the huge demand for Omnium energy could overload the Omnium reactor. I need to fine-tune the joint calculation program of Gestos and Tempos to ensure a stable supply of energy from the infinite sundial. This will take some time. I hope we won't fall too far behind.
While Miss Plotty is fine-tuning the program, Aquaville will work quickly to get the Celestial Cannon ready. It might only open the ruin for a brief moment, but it should suffice. Miss Shirley, please head to Zhonggong later to lock down the coordinates of the Hive Mother through Tempos.
Sure, no problem.
I'll also join the operation this time. For the future of Domain 9, let's give it our all.
This time, I won't be able to be with you. Be careful. I won't forgive you if you get hurt.
Even if I get hurt, it's okay. You'll take care of me, right?
You... Why do I always end up having to take care of you? Are you spacing out?
Shirley, you've always been so... strong. Thank you for always standing by my side.
It's the same for me. Searching for the meaning of my existence as an angel of clemency. That was the purpose I had in mind when we embarked on this journey together. But it wasn't that easy. Though this journey has been full of discoveries, I've yet to find that definitive answer. The one I can chase after wholeheartedly, without a single doubt. But you've always walked beside me, leading the way with a smile, ready to face a future brimming with endless possibilities. What will your answer be?
Is it possible for me to be like you? These questions have crossed my mind time and again during my moments of doubt, but I know I can't let my doubt keep me from moving forward. If I just keep going around in circles, I'll never change anything. So, I've made up my mind to follow your lead. I might not be able to keep pace straight away, but from a distance, I can always see you up ahead. And I know you will always be there for me. Thank you. I didn't realize I've stayed here a bit too long. I have some preparations to do with tempos. And you should probably head to Aquaville to meet up with everyone, right? Let's talk more when you're back.
Surely,
There's so much I want to share with you. About Zeke, our next journey, and you. We'll save those conversations for next time.
Mm-hmm. It's a promise.
Just a bunch of ordinary things. No need to make a big deal out of it. It will be okay. Even if it's the Hive Mother. I've always believed in you. I'm sure. Absolutely certain. Everything will be fine.
They just keep coming.
They must have come here in response to the Hive Mother's call, aiming to help it break free. To completely wipe them out, we must eliminate the Hive Mother.
The Hive Mother. I wonder where it and Nanyin are now. We don't have time. Let's leave this area to the domain guards and keep moving.
It feels like the timestamp is being directed by something?
The third generation timestamp is resonating with the Black Jade ruin. The timestamp can now show us its connection with the Black Jade in a much more tangible way.
Let's follow the timestamp and see. No, the timestamp can't open it.
This should be the chamber imprisoning the Hive Mother. Yet I haven't sensed its presence. Is the entrance blocking all the energy? The Hive Mother must be behind it.
There might be a way to open this nearby.
Let's search the area thoroughly. We may have missed something.
this darkness Nanyin is fighting. Is that the Hive Mother?
Sure. Perhaps I could try to approach them. The situation is more complicated than I thought. Ordinary attacks can't harm the Hive Mother.
Could it be that we can't attack the Hive Mother through conventional means because we're in the field?
What we're seeing might just be a fraction of what the Hive Mother can do.
But it was sealed by the Black Jade Ruin. There must be a way to suppress it. The answer lies within this Black Jade Ruin.
Yes, we need to move closer to observe and gather more information on them.
More troubles have come our way.
The devices here look similar to the ones we've encountered earlier.
Let's activate this one too and see what happens.
There's only one way to find out. Let's keep moving.
Nanyan.
Was that? Master Yu. And Dr. Rubilia.
How are you feeling? Any discomfort?
I think I'm fine. No noticeable issues.
Still, best to have a checkup, just to be safe.
Thanks for caring, Master Yu. But why am I at Ignisville Mansion? What happened after...
Relax. Take it slow. We will try our best to answer your questions, but don't push yourself too hard.
Okay.
Nanyin has always been an extension of the alien civilization's will. Attacking the domain guards, transforming people into dark wretches. She has shattered countless families. Without a doubt, she's a criminal in Domain 9. The pain will go away, and wounds heal over time, but scars linger on. The damage she's done will always haunt the people of Domain 9, no matter how much time passes. Even if she didn't mean for all this to happen, even if she had no choice at the time. Yet, we have witnessed her final decision.
In the end, did she save us?
Not just us, the entire Domain 9. She did what she could to buy us time. She created the opportunity for us to rewrite the future. It's up to us now to seize it.
I'm still a little confused. Do you mean that she realized who she truly was at that moment?
If we consider the outcome, what you said might just be the truth. In that pivotal moment, Nanyan was no longer a vessel for the alien civilization, but her true self. The Nanyan who held Domain 9 dear, bearing the weight of everyone's fate. Through her actions, she fulfilled her mission and atoned for what she's done. I think I might understand. Or rather, I can relate to what she's been through. She must have been fighting the imprint of the alien civilization's will all along.
Okay.
Even the alien civilization couldn't really defeat the Hive Mother. They only managed to seal it using the Black Jade Ruin. Based on our experiences and information from the Dark Form, I have a theory. Only a being of the same species can end the Hive Mother's life. When it was defeated, it released a massive surge of darkness energy. That was its final struggle and retaliation. If Nanyan hadn't guided that energy, we would likely have been obliterated.
Nanyin guided that energy?
You probably lost consciousness from the impact. At the last moment, I only sensed it faintly through the weak connection within the species. As the Hive Mother began to fade, the pure darkness energy it had amassed surged toward us. Another dominant will within the species became clearer, redirecting the energy into the Black Jade Ruin and reinforcing its seal.
Did Nanyin seal herself?
It was an extremely risky attempt. As the victor, Nanyan would become the new leader of the darkness species. How she will change, and the impact this will have on the entire species, remains unknown. The most beneficial choice for Domain 9 would be to follow the alien civilization's example by sealing the new leader, which is herself.
According to the decrypted dark form, the Hive Mother once sealed will remain dormant for a very long time. Although we haven't completely wiped out the darkness, Domain 9 now has time to recover and find ways to rewrite our future.
How is Nanyin now?
She is very weak, barely noticeable. That's all I can sense right now.
Okay.
The Hive Mother is currently in a state of dormancy, but the darkness will continue to be drawn to Domain 9. However, without the Hive Mother's guidance, they shouldn't pose any serious threat.
Eliminating the darkness will undoubtedly be a long and enduring process, but we, along with our predecessors and future generations, will keep fighting this battle. We still have a lot to do, like continuing our research on the darkness and field energy, as well as improving Domain 9's defenses. We must find a more effective solution before the new Hive Mother awakens. This small window of opportunity that Nanyin gave us will not be wasted.
What will happen to her?
It's hard to say. Personally, I believe her consciousness may have been dissipated by that last surge of energy. This means we should prepare for the worst and see her as the new leader of our enemy and not take any chances.
But in a sense, she did save Domain 9. She fulfilled the mission that Master Luo had given her. Everyone in Domain 9 deserves to know about this. They can judge the rights and wrongs themselves. But one thing is certain. Everyone must take responsibility for their actions, and what Nanyin did must be held accountable. It's up to us now to shoulder these responsibilities.
Okay.
Additionally, there's some bad news. Please don't panic. Your friend, Miss Shirley, she's in a critical state.
Shirley? What happened?
She's fallen into a coma for unknown reasons. The footage shows that she suddenly collapsed right after she helped us locate the Hive Mother. After emergency intervention, her condition has stabilized for now. But the exact cause of her coma is still unclear, and further investigation is needed.
Can I go see her now?
Of course. We'll head back to Jungong together shortly.
Shirley was in critical condition, but she's better now. Sorry, we're not sure either. We don't have many leads right now, but I think it has something to do with looking for the Hive Mother's location. That's right. Tempos must know what happened, but...
It crashed at almost the exact same moment Shirley fainted. We will only know what happened once Tempos comes back online.
Master Yu is currently working on repairing Tempos. We should have some good news soon. I hope so too. But we've got to be ready for anything and think about what to do next. Miss Plotty left Domain 9 in a rush not too long ago. Likely because Icrosis Gesthos had the same issue. It's not just Shirley and Tempos that were affected. The situation is far more complicated than we thought. Shirley's case is unique. I'm afraid we won't be able to find the solution here in Domain 9. Whatever it takes, I'll find a way to help Shirley. Now that everything's finally over, we should have been able to enjoy a moment of peace. I didn't get the chance to show you guys around Domain 9 and let you try all the delicacies. Shirley will get well soon, and we will do all of that.
I'm with you. I want to be there for Shirley. Also, do you have time later? There's something I want to tell you. I'll be waiting for you at Azure Bazaar. I'll talk to you later then. You must have important matters to discuss with your friends right now.
I have some things I'd like to ask Master Yu as well. I'll come by later. Shirley.
Let's talk over here. Mia probably wants some time alone with Shirley. I got Shirley's data from Shelley and have passed it to Master Yu, hoping it can be of help. Shirley's condition is still unclear, isn't it? You probably already figured. It's about the unusual silence of Gesthos. Not just the infinite sundial, the omnium reactors across all space-time regions are no exception. Should the reactors fail, the fallout would be disastrous. We won't let it happen again, no matter what it takes. That's one of the reasons we came to Domain 9. The other is worrying you might be in trouble. Turns out Mia was right. Yes, around the same time Gesthos went silent, Mia told me she had a really bad feeling. She was worried something might happen to you guys, and insisted I bring her here to Domain 9. So we had to check on you guys as soon as possible, to do whatever we could to help. And your memory backup, just in case. I was really hoping we wouldn't need them, but seems like we do. I owe you an apology about Mia. You asked me to look after her while you're in Domain 9, yet I brought her over without asking. Just to be safe, could you maybe take her for a checkup? I remember Domain 9 has some mechanics who specialize in smart servants. We're all hoping Shirley gets better soon, so she can tell us what's really going on. Otherwise, I'm worried you might get dragged into even bigger trouble. This isn't just about the computing power needed to locate the Hive Mother's coordinates causing Gesthos and Tempos to crash. Headquarters seems to think Shirley took this chance to hack into Gesthos. We don't know how they plan to deal with the culprit. But I don't think these people will let this opportunity pass by. After spinning a tale, the truth they present to us is probably going to be far different from what really happened. What do you think, or imagine, headquarters is like?
The authorizer on rotation. Just like Archon Elric, she too is one of the Omnium advocates who support Omnium research to make the world a better place. Opposing them are the conservatives, who argue for the use of existing Omnium technology to keep the world stable and orderly. Both sides are so set in their ways that many important decisions are being shelved because they can't come to an agreement. Everything changed when Gesthos authorized a new reactor. Authorizing a new reactor means the activation of a new Tower of Fantasy. This is a big win for the Omnium advocates. And now, with Gesthos falling silent, likely because of the new tower, the conservatives are gaining the upper hand. I'm sorry for what might happen to Shirley, but we can't influence the decisions at headquarters. I often feel that we are really lucky. In Vera, we're able to do the right thing for everyone. Actually, Vera's Tower of Fantasy was never activated because of those very conflicts. Don't stress too much over it. I'm just sharing my concerns. It doesn't mean they will actually harm Shirley. Right now, our priority is to wake Shirley from her coma, so she can tell us what exactly happened. I'll head over to Master Yu's place now to help address any potential issues with the Infinite Sundial. Let's keep in touch. If anything new comes up at headquarters, I'll let you know.
Don't apologize. I understand. You did it for my safety. I do not think this is your fault. There is no need to blame yourself. You have tried so hard. Finding Zeke, modifying the Infinite Sundial, and solving the gray space entity crisis in Domain 9. I know what you have been through, and if you had not been there for Shirley all this while, she would probably be in much worse shape right now. So, do not be too hard on yourself. If you are sad, I will be sad too. Now, I need you to cheer up so we can help Shirley together. According to the records, Shirley was once in a deep coma, affecting both her mental and emotional states. With the help of Dr. Claire from Cetus Island, Shirley was successfully awakened. On my way to the Infinite Sundial, I saw Zeke, or rather, Lord Mingjing. He did not recognize me. Or maybe he just did not see me. I think we should tell him. Zeke always puts Shirley first. He is willing to give everything for her. When he learns the truth, he will definitely appreciate being able to be there for Shirley when she needs him the most. I am sure Shirley will understand. Please, trust me. Understood. I'll record it and analyze carefully.
Miss Shirley once mentioned she hoped I'd have the chance to meet Mia, and I've been looking forward to this day. Hello, Mia. But Miss Shirley's in critical condition. Let's skip the chit-chat. There's something I've been wanting to confirm with you and Miss Shirley. You and Miss... No, Shirley. You knew me before I ended up in Domain 9, didn't you? Zeke. Was that my name? So, you do know who I once was.
We are family. Asperia's Astra Shelter is our home.
Family. Friends. People I should have never forgotten. Yet I have no recollection of you. I'm so sorry. People I should have never forgotten. Yet I have no recollection of you. I'm so sorry. It feels like I'm hearing someone else's story, not as if I lived through it myself. Yet the blurry images I can vaguely recall seem to resonate with it. Believing in intuition is just about as reliable as my chaotic memories. Whether it's the immediate familiarity I felt when we first met, or the unexplained peace your voice brings me, I'm convinced that our pasts are deeply intertwined. By spending more time with you, I hope to recall more things. Recovering those memories will help me discover who you are, and who I am.
I'm glad we're united again in Domain 9. And I don't see your intuition as unreliable. It's the bond that ties family together. So, you'll remember us eventually. I'm sure of it.
But right now, we can't just sit around and wait for Shirley to wake up. What can I do to help? Understood. As long as it helps Shirley, I'll do anything. Let's go see Master Yu.
Excuse me, guys. And this cute, itty-bitty smart servant. You've probably heard, headquarters is in total chaos over the Gesthos incident. Archon Elric urgently needs you back to start an investigation into the incident. But it seems you two have something important to finish. Oh, relax. I'm not here to get in your way. If you manage to wake Miss Shirley, then Archon Elric can personally question her to get the whole picture of the incident. That would be better for everyone, don't you think? I just think this is the better way to handle things, for both Miss Shirley and Hykros. I'll give the doctor a heads up, and help with the prep work. Once you land on Cetus Island, there's no need to brief the doctor. Just head straight into her mental landscape and wake her up. Of course, once she's awake, Archon Elric will speak with you right away. Sound good? I'm but a simple messenger, trying to do my job. Well then, see you later.
Thanks to Miss Yanuo for the help. We've got to speed things up too. Let's get going.
You're all here. Unfortunately, Tempos still isn't working. We thought it crashed because it overextended itself while trying to pinpoint coordinates, but it turns out the situation is much more complicated. The infinite sundial is still running, but there's a persistent issue with Tempos' authorization. Hykros headquarters will be working with us to resolve this issue. We can't say for sure when all the pieces will fall into place. What we do know is that Shirley is the key. Her background and experiences might hold the answers we need. This is likely why there's so much controversy around her now. Domain 9 will make sure she's treated fairly. Oh? Despite being from the outside world, what you've done for Domain 9 surpasses anything done by most of the residents here. You've traveled through all 4 states of the domain, and every inch of this land bears witness to your efforts. Your contributions will never be forgotten here. If there's any way I can help, you have my full support. I'll take care of things in Aquaville. Please do concentrate fully on waking up Miss Shirley.
Master Yu?
Don't feel bad. Just think of it as me keeping my promise.
Thank you. For everything. We'll take our leave now. Shirley's waiting for us. Let's go.
I do not understand. What was that promise about?
You can say it's kind of a quid pro quo. Master Yu agreed to help me find leads about the outside world and my identity. In return, I agreed to lend my strength to Domain 9. That means holding the front line when the darkness invades Aquaville. If I ever found myself, I was free to step aside and choose my own path. But after witnessing the devastation caused by the darkness, seeing people left homeless and lives lost, how could I just walk away? I've made up my mind. I must save Shirley, no matter what it takes.
Haven't seen you in a hot minute, kid. Have you lost some weight?
Executor, according to my calculations, you are 2 kilograms lighter than when you last met Mr. Franz. The weight loss is likely due to being overly busy. You should take care of yourself and get enough rest.
Little Mia is so concerned about you. You really should listen to her.
Franz?
I've heard about what's been going on with you. Let me reintroduce myself. I'm Franz, the liaison between Astra and Hykros, and an old friend of your parents.
My parents?
I'll fill you in when the time is right. Not now, though. We can sort through the past later. Right now, Dr. Claire is preparing for the awakening experiment. Grunt work? Classic Claire. Don't worry about it. Miss Yanuo and I will handle it. She first tracked me down and filled me in on your situation. Then she got Claire on board with the experiment and did all the legwork. We gotta make sure to thank her properly later. Our initial assessment suggests that this coma was caused by Shirley's personality falling into a deep sleep. Since her personality is dormant, it is probably Nemesis who was implanted in Shirley by the Sage. That's causing all the chaos. We're not sure what she did to cause Gesthos and Tempos to crash. Same as before, kid. While Zeke is looking for Shirley, you'll be on guard to prevent any mishaps. Only by waking Shirley can we start tracking down Nemesis. So, are you ready? Zeke, you good? Claire specifically stressed this to me. While Shirley's asleep, the system will bring her mental world to life. A virtual reality crafted from her cherished memories. It's a sanctuary where she can relax completely. Typically, visitors don't upset that world, because they know who they are. But you... How well do you know Shirley? And yourself? It's hard to say. The most likely scenario is that Zeke's mental landscape will merge with Shirley's, creating utter chaos. A single misstep could lead to getting lost. Not only would that not help Shirley, but Zeke could end up losing himself too. I understand how you feel, kid, but their shared blood makes Zeke the best candidate. I trust that Shirley's brother won't let her down.
I got this.
You should head to the lab. Claire needs to tweak the equipment for you.
Okay.
I never thought I'd have to introduce myself again like this. Talk about a twist of fate. It's a long story. When I first met Zeke, he had just escaped with Shirley from the heirs of Ida and was trying to make a life on Astra. He stood there, guarding little Shirley like a hawk, glaring at me with those fierce eyes, even though he was just a kid himself, barely over 10. Oh, those intense glares were something else. Yeah, he wanted nothing to do with Hykros or the heirs of Ida ever again. In his eyes, both sides were the cause of his parents' tragedy, and as you know, over time, he let go of his hatred and obsession, focusing on creating a peaceful life for Shirley. That's the Zeke we both came to know. But now, he's lost himself, not even knowing what he used to live for. I blame it on my old age, getting all sentimental. Back to Shirley. You've probably already heard of the power struggles at headquarters. Those heartless dirtbags. I always hoped you'd stay as far away from them as possible. But given the current situation, we've got to stay proactive and not get manipulated by them. From what I've heard, some of them have already started pulling strings. Even if I knew, I'm not sure if I could do anything to stop it. What seems inevitable is that those people from headquarters want to take Shirley for research, to find clues to fix Gesthos. Archon Elric and Miss Plotty from headquarters will let you know the details later. If Shirley ends up with them, it might not be the worst thing. But if there's no progress in fixing Gesthos, and Shirley falls into those people's hands? Me? I'm just doing what needs to be done. Let's save our thanks till Shirley's awake, huh? You should head to the lab and get ready.
Is this Shirley's memories? I feel like I've been here before. No, I'm sure of it. This is our home.
Finally. Done. Ta-da! Introducing Shirley's special concoction. Orange soda made with iced orange juice and freshly squeezed lemon juice. Just you wait, Zeke. You're about to unlock a core memory. Better taste it first, just in case. Yikes! So sour. Sour overload. Kaboom! This has to work. If it doesn't, then it would definitely prove Zeke's taste buds are broken. Could Zeke actually be taste blind? He didn't even react to the super sour one before. But his cooking is delicious. If he really can't taste, how does he cook so well? Well, no matter. I'll just have him try it and see.
I think I do remember something sour.
So squishy! And kinda ugly, too. Is it a kitten or a bear? Did I mention before that I like baby bears? I just mentioned it casually. Didn't think he would remember. If only his crafting skills could rub off on his aesthetics. Lucky for me, Celine is the one who picks out my clothes. What to name you? What to name you? Ah, how about Zeke? Perfect! When I'm mad at him, I'll take it out on you. Sorry, Shirley. It's all my fault. But if Zeke finds out I named it Zeke... Ugh. Does that mean I'm getting a bear named Shirley for my next birthday? And then Mia the following year? I think there are plenty of other good names that would suit you.
Was this bear really ugly? I should take a look outside. Shirley? Did you sneak out again?
No, I didn't. Mia, you're supposed to be on my side. How could you rat me out? Mia did not.
A guilty conscience speaks first.
Zeke, you're bluffing.
Only someone feeling guilty would fall for that.
Zeke.
It wasn't completely a bluff, though. See? You've got evidence stuck to your back. This type of grass is only found outside the shelter. No need to tell you exactly where, right? You're too old to be rolling around in the grass like a little kid.
But lying in the sun felt so nice. I just got carried away.
Let's not make a habit of it. Go change and wash your hands. Dinner's ready. Shirley?
Shall we go inside?
too risky.
We'll be fine.
I told you, it's dangerous out here.
I just wanted to help.
Help? You're only giving me more trouble.
But I...
There is no but. Go back immediately. Without my permission, you can't...
Even with your memory turned into a wasteland, you're still fixated on a chance for redemption. The opportunity to find truth lies in your own hands.
In this situation, quibbling won't do any of us good. The Sage's plans are confidential. I'm just here to ensure they're carried out smoothly. Nemesis losing control is a problem for you, too. In that regard, we have a common interest, so I'll give you a hint on where to go next. You need to go to Gesthos, located in the algorithm arc at Hykros headquarters. I'm not obligated to answer your questions, kid. Evil? Ha! Don't get too ahead of yourself. You might not even have what it takes. Life is not limited to one form. That's all I have to say.
Where are you, kid? Archon Elric and Miss Plotty are here. Come back to the lab quickly. Don't keep them waiting.
Yes, I found Shirley, but she suddenly turned into Nemesis. Then the whole world started to collapse.
Oh? So you couldn't keep the heirs of Ida's creation under control and let it interact with Gesthos? Working with the heirs of Ida and causing this mess? I'll make sure you're held accountable. The report shows that when Gesthos and Tempos were working together to decipher the dark forms, a large amount of abnormal data was sent to the Gesthos network. Everything points to Shirley, or Nemesis, an angel of clemency. In other words, it's part of the heirs of Ida's long-standing plot to sabotage Gesthos and destroy the Tower of Fantasy. We must understand her intentions, repair Gesthos, and stop the heirs of Ida's next moves. I'm taking her back to headquarters, and that's an order.
What are you planning to do with Shirley?
We plan to start repairing the Gesthos network. The Gesthos network is the backbone of its operation, providing it with many functions. One key function is controlling and authorizing Omnium reactors. These functions come from the network's foundational layer. The authorizer uses a cybernetic link to connect with and edit this layer, which allows the Gesthos network to update and advance. Although we're not sure how, Nemesis has disrupted the logic of the foundational layer. We need to send a team into the network to assist with repairs.
Are you suggesting we go into the network, Miss Plotty?
The cybernetic link can exert significant mental strain on the connected individual. For safety, only those who pass a screening test are allowed to attempt the network connection. I've submitted your physical examination reports. If you meet the requirements, I'll let you know immediately. I'll assist you in repairing the network. Fixing Gesthos will disrupt Nemesis's plans, and she'll try to stop you. It's up to you how you want to deal with her, as long as it doesn't harm Hykros' interests.
I accept your terms, Executor.
The Gesthos network.
Do you have any advice, Mr. Franz?
I'm not an expert on Gesthos, so I don't have much advice to give. I've heard that the surface layer of the Gesthos network, where you might be going, is just a reflection of the foundational layer. If the foundational layer is in chaos, I wonder what that means for its reflection, the surface layer. They're, well, the same as always. Take care of yourselves.
If it helps save Shirley, it's all worth it.
We can't rush this. Until we get word from headquarters, we'll just have to wait.
But we can't just sit around. Mr. Franz, could you tell me more about Shirley and me? After the experiment, I've started to remember some things. Shirley's transformation, the last experiment here, and the time engine. Yes, Executor. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being there for Shirley, supporting and protecting her. I feel as a brother, but I'm thankful she had you by her side.
Zeke, stick with me, and we'll see if we can help you unlock more memories. Mia, you stay with the kid. You probably have your own leads to follow. Let's split up and share information. The more we know before heading to headquarters, the better.
For Shirley.
We will get